What's up guys, this is Corey99 here. Today I'm going to be removing this bad boy, this big old exhaust, and I'm going to be putting on a slip-on M4 GP exhaust on the 2009 ZX6R. So this is kind of going to be an installation and deinstallation. Deinstallation first, of course. So right now, first thing you're going to be doing is removing these 3 screws from the end of the exhaust, and that will remove this whole black cover panel, and that'll allow this whole piece to come off. So 1, 2, 3 screws, they're on there pretty tight, so careful so you don't strip the head. So I just removed the end piece. I kind of had to wiggle it off. I think these are like little rubber grommets, and it kind of stuck on there pretty well, so you kind of had to wiggle it off. It took a bit, but I got it there, and those are the 3 bolts. And then over here, next up, you're going to remove this bolt here, which I already removed, and this bolt here. This is how the bolts actually look, so you know. So there's a little washer, interesting washer, and so yeah, we'll do that. So this is what you end up with, a naked exhaust, and then right here, let's see if I could get it focused. Right here, you're going to need to remove these 2 little cables. So what you're going to do is remove this bolt here and this bolt here, and then pull on this back, or yeah, back and up, and then it'll remove those. It'll loosen it up so you could remove these little pins, which I'll show you in a minute. Alright guys, so these things are a pain in the ass to remove. Basically, one pin goes here, right in there, and it wraps underneath. You'll see, if you're watching this video, you're watching it for a reason. You know exactly what's going on. So basically, you're going to need to loosen these from here, because they're sitting right in here. You're going to need to loosen both of these bolts, and you can't just pull them out, because when you pull it, this is preventing it from pulling far enough back to where you can pop it off. So you're going to need to take off this screw. You're going to need to lift this whole thing up. One of the little washers just fell. Let's see if I can get better light. So you're going to need to lift this whole thing up and bring it up and off like that, so that it's rotated, in order to take it off. So have fun. Alright, next step is to, I don't know if you can see this right, I'm leaning back, remove or loosen this bolt, which is the clamp for the, I guess, slip-on part of the exhaust. So you're going to remove that bolt, or just loosen it. I mean, I don't know, I'll try and loosen it, see what happens. I don't think you need to remove it completely. And then we're going to go up here and remove this bolt here, which you'll need a wrench to hold this bolt back here, and then probably a socket wrench on this side to loosen that, or you could use 2 wrenches and go balls out. I don't know, do whatever you want. So we'll go ahead and do that, and basically once this bolt is removed and once this down here is untightened, you can just slip out this part. This whole piece just pulls right out. Make sure you have the servo cables out of the way, otherwise you'll snag on those and it's not going to work. It's not going to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'll show you how it is when it's done. Alright, so that's how the bike looks without an exhaust on it. This is the big thing back here. It was really easy to just slip out. So you don't need to hold it on here. You just have this one screw right here, this one bolt. You just unscrew that, loosen it up until it wiggles around. You don't need to take it off. Just, you'll know it's hard to take off. So you're gonna need a bit of torque there, and then here, that's where this long bolt went through here and to the other side, and then held on to this mounting bracket there. So loosen this one first. Make sure you loosen this one first, and then take off this. Hold up the exhaust with your knee, because as soon as this is out, the exhaust is going to want to fall. It's heavy, so hold it up with your knee or something, and then wiggle. Oops, there's a washer that got stuck there too. So you have those 3: bolt, washer, screw, goes here. So yeah, next step, I don't know what the next step is. I'll find out. I'll be back. Alright, next up you're going to go ahead and remove this little bolt here, and then these two down here. There's one here, one here. Remove those, and then yeah, this should come off. This whole fairing side should come off. We'll see about that though. Alright, so yeah, those three bolts, boom, 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 removes this whole black panel, and the two little ones go on the bottom, the long one goes on the top, which is up here. Just for your future reference, in case I need to reinstall it back, that's for me. Alright, so next step would be to remove this whole big chamber here. Two steps really. You're going to remove this silver bracket. So you're going to need to remove this bolt up here, which is mounted to the frame of the bike, which is holding this chamber in place. And then, let's see if I can show you. There's this bracket. It's the same exact idea as this bracket, only it's lower. It's holding the chamber to the headers. Let's try and find out where we can loosen that. Oh, it's right there, right on top. So, looking from the bike here, you see the bottom fairings. You look right in between, there's the bolt to loosen it right at the tip of my finger. So you're going to loosen that, remove the bracket bolt up here, and then remove bracket bolt first, then loosen that, then you should be able to wiggle it out. There's not much room between it and the rear tire, so I think it's going to be close, but from what I'm reading, you should be able to wiggle it out and be able to drop down this whole panel. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so I went ahead and removed the fairings, well, the lower fairings, if you can even see anything. Just the bottom half, just this one and that little guy. Little guy, just a couple screws, and then the big one. It's pretty easy. I'll let you guys figure that out. Just so I could better see everything. So again, bracket bolt here. This is the, I guess, another bracket or brace or tension, or I don't know. So you're going to want to remove this one and remove this one first, then loosen it, then pull this whole thing back. So I'm going to attempt again. We'll see how this goes. Alright guys, so I finally loosened the bracket bolt. But you're not going to be able to do it with just this. You're going to have to slide this sucker in, and then let's see here, hold on, I'm getting like stupid text. I'm recording with my phone. I have this, which is like a little hollow, just hollow piece of something. Anyway, slid it in here and then allowed for extra leverage, because this isn't enough leverage. This thing is on tight. If it's not on tight, then I don't know, maybe you got lucky. But I couldn't do it myself with just this thing. It was difficult. So I'm gonna remove this bolt. I'm gonna continue taking this out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm getting distracted. I just want this thing out already. I want you guys to see it. Yes. Alright, monstrous bolt. Ooh, it's deadly too. Has a little point to it. Alright, so, shit. That's that. So that bolt's out, which means next up is this. So you just take a, by the way, here, let me show you guys something. Hold on, if I could find it. Here it is. If you guys don't have one of these, get one. They're freaking amazing. I picked it up from Cycle Gear for like, I don't know, $5. Stockton Tool Company. It has everything. It has all your Allen keys here. It has a flathead. Let's see if I could just show you this. It has a flathead, as a star or whatever you want to call that. And then it has these really cool things right in the middle. It's like a socket wrench, and then you use this one to put it on there. Isn't that so cool? I think it's pretty cool. So where did the other one go? I don't know where it went. I think it might be screwed right now. Oh, here it is. So you just be like, bam, and you just kind of force this thing in. bam. And now you got a little socket wrench. Isn't that freaking awesome? You could actually maneuver it so it's like, so it works. But anyway, we're removing that right now. Alright guys, it's complete. The stock exhaust is off. So I went ahead and loosened this guy up. I removed that big ass bolt, which I think went through here. And now I'm going to install my not new but used and kind of shitty M4 exhaust, to be honest. So, whew, this is going to be a long video. First step to installing the new exhaust is removing these two bolts, this one and this one, from the, here's the foot peg so you have an idea of what I'm looking at. Here's the brake right here. So remove these two and I will continue from there. Alright guys, so I took off the bolts, the old bolts, which are these. They're actually silver, and this is what they look like, and I actually replaced them with these black ones, which I went and bought from Home Depot because the guy who I bought the exhaust from didn't have the bolts. Let's see if we could get you there. So it's an M8 bolt, 1.25 times 45. So like 45 is the length, 1.25 is the diameter, the width of the actual like bolt. And right now I'm screwing the top one in. This is the bracket. So the bracket goes all the way behind it, so you gotta bring it all the way in the back. And I don't know if you can see it, it lines up back there. So that's what I'm trying to do now. And then I'm trying to set it up, line it up there. I can't do it with one hand, otherwise I'd show you guys. And then on the back of the bracket will go this nut, which fits the screw obviously. So basically it'll look like this on the bracket. Once it's back there, facing this way, underneath, behind this bolt, this top bolt. And then of course you're going to do the bottom one, and then this is the one that's back there. Yeah, let me see if I can show you. On the bracket's back up here, down under here, right here by my pinky finger, that's where the exhaust is going to mount on there. And I could actually show you the exhaust because I have it right next to me. So that's where this top piece of the exhaust is going to stick. It's going to be like that, and then the bolt's going to go there. So, awesome. So I'm going to continue. Hey guys, so I finally got the mounting bracket on. Let's see. Back there. I don't know if I can get that in focus. Okay, so that one nut straight ahead, that's in focus. That's one of the nuts that goes on the bracket, and if you can see the clearance, there's really not much, so it's really difficult to get in. And then up here, if we can move these wires out of the way, there's the other nut that goes in the bracket behind there. So here's the bolts that I used. They don't look bad. They actually went on pretty well. I wouldn't use the 45. Oh, spider. No. Kill it. I don't know what to kill it with. Die. Okay. Sorry. Sorry for the insect lovers. So I would use, I actually bought two different types of bolts. Which ones? Those are the nuts, these are the other ones. There. How about these? Two M8, 1.25, same thing. They're 40 millimeter rather than the 40 millimeter length rather than 45 millimeter. 45 millimeter, the ones I bought, the tread here, I don't know if you can see that, the tread here, it didn't screw on all the way. It tried to keep going and it was loose, so I had to use the 40 millimeter, which works okay. The nut barely, well, the nut goes on it like halfway, but you know, it's just the bracket, so you could actually see the bracket back here. I don't know if you could see that. That whole black piece right here is the bracket. And it comes down here. That's where the exhaust will slip on. the only next step is put the exhaust in here. This bracket's still loose. Put the exhaust on here, tighten this up, and then tighten it on the bracket. So you guys will see it next time when the exhaust is actually on it. Alright guys, so that's the final product. Let's show you what I did, just because I feel like it. I tighten this bolt. I slip this on. First of all, you wiggle it in, and then it'll line up to the bracket mount. It's really snug, so it really goes all the way in there, probably to about here. So a decent amount, probably 2 finger widths, or about there, is in this, I don't know, gasket or whatever you call it. And then you tighten this one. You tighten this bolt. There's another actual screw or bolt, nut, whatever, behind here, so you tighten it to the bracket, and that's it. So next thing, I'm going to put back on the fairings, the side fairings, and then the little bottom piece. I have this lower fairing, and then this little protector which goes about there. And then, yeah, you guys will hear it soon. Alright, let's turn this baby on. So this is my first time starting it. I went downhill so I don't bug too many neighbors. So wish me luck.